What up, big kids? Here is my thoughts on the Ghostbusters 2016 reboot casting news. Now, if you didn't know that yesterday, that the director Paul Fear, he's director of Bridesmaids, he is directing a Ghostbusters reboot that is coming out July 22nd, 2016. And the cast that was announced was Kristen Wiig. We got Melissa McCarthy, both who were in Bridesmaids, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, who are on SNL. Now, first off, I want to say I love all those ladies. They are hilarious, and they're all beautiful in their own right. And they definitely have the comedic chops and the action chops. Ghostbusters was also kind of like action horror comedy, or spooky comedy. But this is definitely has divided the community. Some people are like, this is awesome, but a lot of people are like, why? This is the worst thing ever. Why would you do this? And I totally understand both sides of the coin. Now, like I said, I love the cast, and I think they'll do a hilarious job. Ghostbusters is a franchise that I can see continuing, whether it has the original actors, and we know that Harold Ramis passed away not that long ago, so they couldn't even make it with the original four, and Bill Murray didn't want to be part of it for a long time. Ghostbusters 3 never happened, and the only thing that was even close to Ghostbusters 3 was the video game that came out a few years back on Xbox 360 and PS3. By the way, it's a great game. You should try it out. It's probably one of the best Ghostbusters game that ever came out. Now, like I said, I love Ghostbusters. I love the original 80s movies and cartoon series, the real Ghostbusters. Always Ghostbusters will always be to most of us, and that's my category there. Egon, Peter, Ray, and Winston. Having Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray playing the Ghostbusters will always be our Ghostbusters, and that makes sense. Ghostbusters was very original and very such a big hit, back in the 80s, and even Ghostbusters 2, which I love, by the way. Some people, even big Ghostbusters fans, don't like Ghostbusters 2, but I do. And it's a very classic movie, and I understand, people don't want to touch it. I mean, you've seen 80s movies that have been rebooted and it didn't have that great of, following or response with, like, say, Total Recall, or like even RoboCop that just came out last year. And Ghostbusters, like I said, it's really not only about the concept of three scientists and then out of work police officer, fireman, Winston, making a deciding to bust ghosts for a living, and yeah, here's my cat. Anyway, so she'll be in this video. She's giving her thoughts on Ghostbusters. So basically, it's one of those things that those characters are very cremated or cemented, into what people consider Ghostbusters, and I totally understand. Those are my Ghostbusters too. It's one of those things that they should have never done this. Could they just made something that was in the spirit of Ghostbusters without calling it Ghostbusters? Well, Ghostbusters are what they call them. Could they call them like Ghost Hunters or Busting Ghosts, or the all-new female Ghostbusters, keeping the same continuity? Because that's the thing, is this reboot, are they going to acknowledge the previous Ghostbusters? And my cat just is really making this video more difficult than it has to be. Are they going to acknowledge that are they going to be the original Ghostbusters in this new rebooted universe, or did Peter, Egon, Winston, and Ray all were they the originals, and then these were like what they originally planned to pass the torch? If they did in that sense, then I don't think people would be upset, even if they made cameos of people that are still alive, like Winston and Ray and Peter, and talked about Egon and gave some tribute to Harold Ramis. That would be awesome. I would love that. And like I said, I think it's cool to have female Ghostbusters. I think it's cool that I think I'm all for equality. I have nothing against female Ghostbusters at all, but I do see the opposite end where people are so upset because not only that they cast the females as Ghostbusters, but just making this reboot in general. It's like it really in 2016 will the concept of ghost busting like is people gonna think that's cool compared to people that grew up with that in the 80s. Only time will tell. Like I said, we haven't seen anything Ghostbusters in a while besides that video game and that other bad video game that came out a few years ago, but the good one was great. And then just the toys that Mattel has been making and other companies. So what do you big kids think? Are you up in arms? Do you think no, like hell no to this, or are you all for who are you gonna call the female Ghostbusters? Are you all for that? Let me know in the comments below. And for more vlogs, subscribe to my channel at Sean Longshot. Check out my website at seanxlong.com. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. I'm Sean Long, may I live long and love life. I wonder what that ticking sound is. I know, right? Oh, who might you be? Well, I'm Ron Weasley. Ron Weasley.
I'm Harry Potter, yeah. Harry Potter,
Weasley.